このマダラがお前を最強と呼んでやる。いよ。
Power systems in anime is something that makes the medium definitely stand out from others, and along with a good power system comes both powerful and impactful transformations where one of the characters move up in their respective power hierarchy by transforming to a more physically enhanced version of themselves. And when this transformation is animated in a mind-blowing way, it can even make a minor character a potential side character, or even increase our impressions on the main character. Today we're going to talk about the top 10 most impactful Naruto transformations and what's so good about them. So let's get started. At number 10 we have the 8 Tails transformation of Killer Bee.
お前らには幻滅、そしてお前ら壊滅。人中力である俺様の本当の姿。それを怪物、それを見物、人中変化。
In the 143rd episode, Sasuke and his team move on to capture Killer Bee, the holder of the 8 Tails. When he and Sugetsu overpower him, Killer Bee decides to take a hasty retreat and transform into the 8 Tails. As the 8 Tails, he becomes an Ushioni, a Japanese folklore monster with massive horns and tails of a squid. The reason why this transformation was something epic wasn't because of the way he transformed, but because of our amazement to witness a tailed beast and its power. With Killer Bee being the 8 Tails, cards were reversed and Sasuke and his team found a more harder challenge facing him, not to mention his tailed beast ball, which was one of the most powerful chakra attacks seen in the series to that day. Killer Bee managed to show us what the power of a truly transformed tailed beast looks like. At number 9 comes the transformation of Kabuto. We're talking about a man who followed Orochimaru, so you shouldn't expect anything less. Kabuto was a villain for most of the series, but his transformation during the battle with Sasuke and Itachi was where his power levels were at the peak. As the two brothers find him in the caves, his face is more deformed and has a look similar to Orochimaru. This transformation gives the chance for Kabuto to use several of his researched techniques, such as Sugetsu Hozuki's hydrification technique, and even his own Sage Mode, a state Orochimaru was never able to achieve. The meaning of this transformation was to thematically show how Kabuto had moved out of Orochimaru's shadow and is making his own identity, and his final form also resembled the research he'd done on all the different techniques and transformations of other people. Without doubt, the two Uchiha brothers had some trouble facing them, because both of them had their own confrontations to handle. Next up at number 8 we have the transformation of Obito. Obito Uchiha is one of those characters we loved and hated. We hated him when he was a masked villain disguised as Madara, but we sympathized with him as we learned his backstory with Kakashi and Rin. But in the climax of the 4th Shinobi War, Obito does something that he can't turn back from. He traps the 10 Tails from within his own body. As he traps his Jinchuriki, his previous wounds are healed, and he receives enhanced speed and agility, and becomes nearly impervious to any sort of damage. Another thing here is that with this transformation, he received a far greater power than the original 10 Tails itself, because he had more concentration than the tailed beast and had the ability to focus on the large amounts of chakra it was releasing. With this, he even managed to control the 10 Tails tree and perform the infinite Tsukuyomi, which showed how much dedication he had for his goal and the hidden potential behind his character. At number 7 we get the transformation of Sasuke. No, we're not talking about his transformation in the original series, nor his later transformations in the beginning or during the climax of the 4th Shinobi War, but his very final form. The final Susanoo, which was the most powerful form that merged the chakra of all the tailed beasts along with Sasuke's own. Part of the reason why this transformation was very impactful was because, like Obito, Sasuke showed how much he was willing to give in order to achieve his goals. And on the other hand, this revealed that this young shinobi was one of the strongest to exist at that time, and the only one who could stand toe-to-toe in a fight with Naruto. This version of Sasuke Susanoo has a powerful saber sword and a pair of katana along with a bow.
やるぞ
Number 6 is Naruto's transformation to his BIJUU mode. We can't just leave off with Sasuke Susanoo without mentioning the very ninja he battled against. Naruto's BIJUU mode, or the very last Kurama combination in his arsenal, is the most powerful Naruto transformation that's only second to Sasuke's Susanoo. Naruto undergoes this transformation when he perfectly syncs with Kurama's chakra, and its most powerful form, the Ashura Kurama mode, is Naruto's power level at its peak. This form's completely made from chakra and resembles Ashura Otsutsuki's chakra avatar. In this transformation, Naruto can create his own shadow clones and unleash his most powerful attack, the 6 Paths Ultra Big Ball Rasen Shuriken. This form stood toe-to-toe with Sasuke Susanoo, and the attacks of the two managed to nearly shatter Valley of End. This transformation also reflected how much Naruto has grown as a character on a physical level and a mental level from the screaming blonde ninja we saw in episode 1. Coming in at number 5, we have Naruto's Ninetail Cloak transformation. Going along the same topic, we have to time travel a bit back to the original series. When Naruto and Sasuke first fight in the Valley of End, we see him tap to the very first form of the Jinchuriki. This is what Jiraiya later calls the Demon Fox Cloak, or the Ninetail Cloak, where a shroud of translucent red bubble chakra surrounds Naruto. This gives him enhanced strength and protection, but using too much will hurt his own body. I think the reason why this transformation was so impactful is purely obvious. We witnessed Naruto using the strength of the tailed beast inside him, but that isn't the main factor. In this fight, Naruto reached far more damage from Sasuke in both physical and emotional levels. He was being attacked by the person he called his best friend, and he was struggling more than anyone to rescue Sasuke from the path he was traveling on. So this transformation is a repercussion of both his emotional and battle scars. Next up on this list, we have Madara's transformation. We can't compile this list without mentioning Madara, the man who was the beginning to everything. In his normal resurrected form, he summoned meteorites, but when he combined powers with the 10 tails, he managed to successfully seal the beast inside him and gain complete control over the Jinchuriki. This transformation was even more powerful than Obito's own and gave Madara a great amount of dexterity and defense in terms of a ninja. He managed to dodge powerful attacks such as the Flying Thunder God technique and Gamui, and even managed to barely survive Night Guy, even though he dealt him heavy damage. This also gave him the ability to use the Truth-Seeking Balls, which were a combination of yin-yang chakra that were highly malleable to cast off great attacks and even make powerful ninjutsu worthless against Madara. This form's most powerful and dangerous attack was the ability to cast infinite Tsukuyomi and even use nature energy. The reason why this is so impactful is because this is when we saw the peak of Madara Uchiha. Coming in at number 3 is Rock Lee's Reverse Lotus transformation. We're probably introduced to this optimistic, energetic, and hot-blooded ninja back in the Chunin exam arc, and it was this very arc that he showed his potential. In the preliminaries, he was matched with Gaara, the monster of the Sand Village, and when the battle reached its climax and things were desperate, Rock Lee's mentor, Might Guy, allowed him to use the Reverse Lotus transformation. This transformation happens when the user opens at least 3 of the 8 gates and gains enhanced speed and agility. With Lee using the Reverse Lotus, he was able to easily overpower Gaara's shield of sand without any problems at all. Might Guy taught this to Lee to use as a last resort because this gives the user both the advantage and disadvantage. The disadvantage is that it leaves the body of the user completely damaged and sometimes even unable to move. So if your opponent happens to still survive the battle, just like in Gaara's case, he suddenly gains the upper hand. But, ignoring its weakness, we have to add this to our list because this transformation is what brought the King of Sand to his knees. We're now going to move on to the most popular and perhaps the most debated arc in the Shippuden series, the Pain arc. Some may call it one of the best directed episodes in anime, and others may call it an episode with potential hindered by the animation. But either way, one of the things that both parties agree on was the impactful transformation of Naruto. It's the third time Naruto transformed to one of his tailed beast modes, and this was one of the fiercest transformations of him seen up to date. There was pure rage and hatred boiling within Naruto for the death of Jiraiya-sensei, and pain attacking Hinata was the last drop needed to make it explode. The form of Naruto represented a deeper part of his hatred he didn't want to reveal, and also the power of the Jinchuriki hiding within him. And even if you don't call those attacks impactful, I'm pretty sure Pain will. Topping our list at number 1, we have Might Guy's 8-Gate transformation. You saw what Rock Lee did with 3 gates open, so imagine a more grown and capable ninja opening all the 8 gates. Yes, we're talking about none other than the transformation of Might Guy. Just as he taught Lee, opening the gates did put a heavy toll on him, but during the 4th Ninja War, he was able to open up to 7 gates multiple times that his body got used to. But the opening of that final gate required much more concentration and physical pain, and the results were enough to bring Madara nearly to his death. With each gate he opened, Guy received several enhanced attacks, such as the Front Lotus, Reverse Lotus, Morning Peacock, Daytime Tiger, and finally the Night Guy, a single kick that can distort the space around it just because of its power. The sheer animation, combined with Might Guy's epic actions and voice, made this not only one of the most impactful Naruto transformations, but also one of the best anime transformations up to date. So which transformation do you think was epic? Was it one of Naruto's Jinchuriki modes born by pure rage and anger? Or is it perhaps the transformation of Madara or Might Guy, which showed how much these characters had stored within them? Let us know in the comments below, and if you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for updates. I'll see you next time on ViniiTube.